next up is going to be adding in a phone.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
So we're going to start off on the iPhone side of things, and we're just going into Bluetooth, Mustang.
Confirm that the pin displayed on Sync matches the pin displayed on your device.
Pins match up, which is perfect. Do you want to allow contacts and favorites to sync up? I'm going to hit don't allow. I mean, obviously, if this was your car, you'd want to hit yes there. If you accidentally hit no...
For your safety, please stay alert to changing road conditions and use Sync's voice-activated features while your vehicle is in motion.
There we go. So if you've accidentally hit no there, just delete the phone from the vehicle and then the vehicle from the phone, and then just re-add it again, and it'll give you the option of being able to set that up. From here, so you've got the option of, let's go here, 911 Assist. So I always recommend turning this one on for a few different reasons. One of the big ones is that if you're ever in an accident and it's a major one, it's automatically going to dial 911 for you. So always recommend keeping that one turned on. And then as you can see there, you're fully connected. So you've got favorites, recents, contacts, keypad, phone list. So if you have multiple phones connected to the vehicle, that's going to show up there. You can look at phone settings. So if you connect through, you can manage contacts, look at text messages, roaming warnings, and things like that. So there are a series of different options that are available. But you saw earlier, you've also got the option of using CarPlay, and it's wireless CarPlay inside of this thing. So all you're going to do is hit Use CarPlay, enable. It's connecting through there, and boom, you are fully connected. Now this is a nice kind of little split screen, but one cool thing is that along the very top, so just above the time, you can push there in order to expand it. Bam, look at that. Into this beautiful full screen experience instead. I love it. Love the way that it looks. So you've got your navigation along the very middle. If you had audio playing, that would show up there. So you've got podcasts there as well, and then you've got miscellaneous. Along the outside, you've got your current phone status, so what your current charge levels are like. If you've got maps that are open, so it's essentially which map application was open last, which audio application was open last, and which miscellaneous application was open last. And then from there, there's also this little icon view instead. So you can go icon view, swipe across. So you can see there, Google Maps was last open, but if you open Apple Maps instead, that's going to open it up. It's trying to find my location. But you can see there, it's full screen, but for whatever reason, it's not full screen Apple Maps. Très bizarre. But you could swipe across that way if you want to. You can zoom in and out this way. There's no pinch to zoom capability. You can search for addresses, look at previous destinations, or jump back home. If you wanted to jump into Google Maps instead. Yeah, Google Maps, there we go. Nice and full screen capability. There you go. Fairly responsive. No pinch to zoom, but you can go in and out this way. Or hit done. Along the very top, if you wanted to avoid certain things, like avoid highways, toll roads, and ferries, you can look at map colors, satellite maps, you adjust your volume, and things like that. You can search for addresses, previous destinations, and things like that along the very top. And it's the same idea with Waze. So if you're a fan of using Waze instead, you can search for addresses, star out. You can also zoom in and out that way if you want to, hit done, and then just back to your basic home screen there. Now, one nice thing is that if you press and hold the voice command prompt on the steering wheel, that's also going to activate your Siri assistant. So it's just this longer press and hold to activate this assistant, which is nice. And then, as I mentioned, if you've got podcasts that were opened up last, it's essentially going to be maps, what music application was open up, and then miscellaneous application instead. So very straightforward using this, but I mean, you saw it there. If you wanted to kind of do a little split screen instead, you would have that flexibility, and then you can kind of go up and down between your different options there. So if you wanted to have CarPlay going while you're listening to your radio, you would have the flexibility to do it. Now, one nice thing is that through your screen, or through your phone, I should say, through the screen general settings, if you go to CarPlay, click on your vehicle, you can turn CarPlay off, you can forget it, or you can customize it. So let's say if you're a bigger fan of maybe listening to your podcasts and you want to have your audiobooks up there as well as maybe Google Maps, just do a press and hold to drag and drop, or you can also delete. So if you don't want any of those applications, you can remove them, and it gets rid of them from the screen, but it adds them up back into the very bottom. So you could add them back in if you want to. And then if you've done too much and you're not a fan of what you've done with the changes, along the very top on CarPlay, you can hit reset layout, and that brings you back to your factory default screen there instead. So it's that simple, setting up an iPhone inside of this vehicle. All right, and next up, Let's set up an Android. So setting up an Android device is the exact same process. So I mean, obviously as of right now, you've got the phone connected. So if we were to click back through, it would launch me back into the iPhone. So what you're gonna wanna do, if you go into Settings, Phone List, you've got the iPhone that's been connected. So as of right now, we want to add in a new phone.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
You're gonna open up your other phone, and as you can see there, Ford Mustang, so we're gonna connect there. Do you want to allow your contacts to sync up? I'm going to hit skip, and same idea. I'm going to skip the SMS messages. Fully connected, so the device is set up, ready to use.
Please stay alert to changing road conditions and use Sync's voice-activated features while your vehicle is in motion.
Why, thank you. And the device also supports wireless Android Auto, so let's enable that. Perfect, and we just want to continue. Boom. And 3, 2, 1. I mean, as you can see there, fully connected, which is nice. Now, one thing is that this thing also does have full screen capabilities, so it's going to be split screen as a default, but along the very top right side, right next to the temperature, you can see this little button there. So you're going to push that to go full screen. So it's still kind of like a little split screen, but if you hit the map icon, that brings you into your full screen Android Auto. Ah, yeah. Nice pinch to zoom capabilities, fairly responsive, which is good. Drag and drop around. You can search for addresses, and then very similar to what we saw on the iPhone side, you can push there if you wanted to avoid certain things, so route options, so avoiding toll roads, ferries, and things like that. You can also mute out notifications, see route options, different perspectives. You can, plus or minus this way as well. Along the side, you can see what's going on with your current phone status, maps, phone, things like that. And then you can also turn on your Google Assistant that way. You can also press and hold on the steering wheel in order to activate your Siri or your Google Assistant that way instead. You can push this button along the very bottom to go to your little split screen or to your icon view. So you can see there, Google Maps, weather, customize, and a few other things. So you do have the flexibility to customize this thing a tiny little bit. Not quite as much as what you saw on the iPhone side, but it still does give you a few customization options. So on your phone, all you're going to do is search for Android Auto, and you're going to go into Android Auto settings. Once you're in settings, you can see there are a series of different things that are available. So privacy options, change layout, you've got taskbar widgets, Google Assistant, Hey Google, series of things. And then you've also got the flex. Ooh, haha. It's because I said the word. I said this word. But you can also customize the launcher. So as of right now, you don't have the flexibility of, Waze is installed on this phone, but it's unfortunate it's not available to be able to add on here as of yet. But you can customize the launcher here if you want to. So very similar to the iPhone side of things, if you want to have phone and things like that first. The only kicker is that any changes that you make here, you unfortunately actually have to get out of Android Auto, so shut it down and then relaunch it in order for any changes to take into effect. But you still do have that flexibility. But I mean, it's nice. Google Maps, really nice. Love the pinch to zoom on there, super responsive. It's great that you've got the flexibility of going either full screen or split screen like what we saw on the iPhone side. And then you can also go back home, go into settings, phone list. And then this is one really cool thing. So if you were, let's say, go back to your phone itself, you're connected to the Samsung for both your phone and for audio. But let's say if you have one phone with all of your music and one phone that you want to have your phone connected to for phone calls, you've got that flexibility. So you can kind of do like a mix and match between any of these four. It can either be Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, not both, but you can have any of these four set up for either phone. So if you want to have one phone connected for both the phone and for the audio, you've got that flexibility. Or if you just want to have one phone connected for audio, for the phone, etc., you would be able to do that. Really neat. You can look at phone settings, you can delete phones, or you press this one. So straightforward. It's nice. No drag and drop capabilities, but like I said, if you wanted to delete yes. That's deleted it. Same idea. Let's delete this other one from the view. Oh, actually, before I do, haha. This is how the home screen looks like when you've got a phone connected. So nothing too crazy, but I mean, it still is nice that it shows you your basics there, and then you can click through in order to get to the basics of your phone again. Nice and simple. And we saw earlier, go back home. If you want to remove the phone, you're going to go to settings, phone list, phone settings, delete, yes. And as you can see there, the phone is deleted. And that's how you set up Android and iPhone devices inside of the new Mustang.